This is the Dark Illumination Report podcast for Monday, August 3rd, 2020. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about what to do when you have a relationship that's not going the way you want to, and should you leave or not.
This is a Dark Illumination Report Extra with RJ Womack.
Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for another episode of the podcast. As always, I'm your host, Brother Nero, aka RJ Womack, your friendly neighborhood diabolist, and this is the Dark Illumination Report podcast, the podcast where we promote the religious worship of Satan and demons as a serious faith and way of life. And on today's episode, I'm going to be answering a question that's kind of a carryover from yesterday's question, which is, should I leave my partner or should I leave my husband or wife if I feel they're interfering with my beliefs? And the answer to the question is, if they're truly interfering with your beliefs in Satan and interfering with your practice, you probably should leave them. But I realize it's very easy for me to say that when I'm not married to the person, right? But we get this question quite a lot, and we get it from a lot of people, and they're always asking, how do I know whether it's the right time to leave or not? How do I know whether Satan wants me to leave or not? Well, I can't answer that specifically, and I don't want to jeopardize people's relationship because many people have been married for many, many years, and I wouldn't want to be responsible for breaking up somebody's marriage just on a little bit of advice over the internet. That's one of the differences between being a real minister, trying to help people with their real lives, and starting a Facebook group. This is what I've been trying to explain to people for many years. It's really easy to pretend to be a minister. It's a whole different issue when you're actually trying to live up to your beliefs and you're trying to practice your faith and you're trying to help people navigate real problems in their daily life. But ultimately, the advice I will give you is that usually you know when you need to leave, and you usually know when Satan's guiding you to leave and when you need to work on your marital problems. But the one thing I will say is that if Satan really wants you to leave and he's determined for you to leave, and it's working against his will for you to be in a relationship with someone, whether you're married or whether you're in a relationship with them, he will destroy your life if he has to. He'll blow things up. One of the things about Satan is he's very patient. The demons are very patient. This is true of the demons as well. They're very patient. They're very understanding. Their time frame is different from ours, and they won't hold it against you if it takes you a while. I mean, they understand human frailty. But if they finally get annoyed and they really want you to move forward on something, they will blow up your life if they have to in order to force you to move on. So if Satan really wants you to leave someone, he will blow up your relationship if he has to force you to make that change. But again, what usually happens is you'll see circumstances and things fall into place that are leading you in certain directions. You'll get signs and omens that will let you know. But again, be careful, think it through, don't react out of emotion, wait and see how things unfold, and don't try to force things. One of the things that I'm guilty of, and I've talked about on this show many times, is that I've always been guilty of pushing things faster than they need to happen. I've always been guilty of being impatient and trying to force Satan's will and trying to force what I think is Satan's will to happen before it's time for something to happen. And Satan will get annoyed with that if you do that too often, and bad things will happen, as I've said before. But that's it for today. But before I leave, I want to say to everybody that we're going to be having the pilot episode of Nero and the Pig on Friday is going to be airing. And also I'm going to be having an interview with Mo later on this week, who's going to be my co-host on Nero and the Pig. That's his nickname, Pig. I'll be having an interview with him later on this week, probably on Wednesday. So until then, I guess that's it. Oh, one more thing. We're getting closer to an official release date for my new book, and I'll be letting you know that as soon as something's available. But I just wanted to let you know that I am making steady progress. I've been working very hard, and we're almost there to give out an official release date. So I'll keep you updated on that. Until then, take care, everybody. And if you like what we do here on the podcast, please let somebody know. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Illumination Report podcast. For the latest news headlines, show information, and more, go to rjwomack.com. That's rjwomack.com.